One. What is going on, guys? And it is no secret that I'm a massive fan of the PS4 and its amazing library of games. And with Christmas just around the corner, hence the sweater today that I'm wearing, my Rick and Morty one. But anyway, with Christmas just around the corner, I thought it'd be cool to make a list of games that are ones that you would be considering picking up if you're shopping for someone that's buying PS4 games for someone this Christmas, or if you have a PS4 and you want some games, you're kind of like looking for game time to play, or you're planning on getting a PS4 for the very first time this Christmas, some games you might want to pick up and give a try. Some newer games in here mostly. So let's go ahead and just jump right in here with the very first game, and that is Axiom Verge. Now, if you're a fan of Metroid or Super Metroid or Castlevania or Metroidvania style games, like as they call them, this game is right up your alley. It is amazing Metroidvania. It is a freaking sweet old school style here. You can see the graphics here. It looks very 16-bit back in the day, retro style graphics, and it's really cool adventure game here. It's got awesome, amazing. I've actually fell in love with the soundtrack of this game, and if you're a fan of either Metroid or Castlevania, or those style games from back in the day, and this is definitely one you should check out. And the best part about this game is it's dirt cheap, guys. It's only $20 right now over on Amazon. I would highly recommend getting this one for anyone who's a fan of older style games like this, or if you're getting into a few budget titles for stocking stuffers. This would be a perfect game for that. Up next, though, is another amazing throwback game. Not quite as old of a throwback as, say like a Metroidvania, and that is .hack GU Last Recode. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this series, it is a JRPG series from way back in the PlayStation 2 days, and those games are actually extremely pricey. The original copies on PS2 are actually pretty rare games and pretty hard to come by, actually, but they pretty much put all of that into this one awesome game here, this one awesome package, and it's only $40, and that is a great price for all of these games, or for this game at least. And if you're not into long JRPGs, or you just want to dip your toe into a JRPG, this is a very good one to start with. I highly recommend this series. Great battle system, and it's got an amazing dialogue as well. It's kind of like a choose-your-own dialogue. You can pick how to respond to people, and it changes storylines and plot lines and stuff like that. Very interesting. It is a kind of a longer game, so if you're looking for maybe something with hundreds of hours to play, this could be something for you. I am nowhere near done with this game. I don't have really that much time to play it, but it is one I enjoy when I need to spend more time playing it. I highly recommend this one. Next up, though, is a game you've probably already heard of. It's probably the most popular or advertised game on today's list, and that is Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, usually I would say, these games are kind of getting old. They've been played out. There's been 1,000 of these games, and they're kind of all the same thing, and I always tend to let these games go on sale before I buy them, just because they're not that great. But this one I've heard is much different, so I heard good reviews. I went out and I picked it up and played it, and it is awesome. I mean, it's super good game. I haven't played Assassin's Creed in quite some time. I've just been kind of skipping the series for the most part, but until this one really caught my eye. The Egyptian themes and all that kind of stuff like that, I really enjoyed. And it's actually a really solid game. I highly recommend this one. You can get it for like $50 right now on Amazon with Prime. So that's actually a pretty decent deal. Or you might be able to find a copy used at a GameStop. You can want to throw in a stocking stuffer like that as well. Most people with PS4s are going to really enjoy this game, especially the younger audience. So if you're looking for something to get to a friend or someone like that for Christmas, or a family member for Christmas, it's a perfect game to pick up for someone like that. Another game that's another perfect game to pick up for someone, maybe not so much for a younger audience. This might have like a teenage to adult audience, but if you have that one 20-year-old in your family who has a PS4 and you don't want to get them, the South Park Fractured But Whole is probably a good bet for that. This is, again, an RPG, but a very different style RPG. It's like basically just watching like a long episode of South Park. So if they're a fan of South Park, if you're a fan of South Park and a fan of RPGs, then you're going to enjoy this game. It's absolutely hilarious. I have 100% of this game. I've played it all the way through twice now. And I freaking love it. It's got everything a good RPG should have, but then on top of that, it's also like watching a South Park movie, and I freaking love that. Its humor is insanely funny at times, and great gameplay on top of that. So you really can't go wrong there. You could probably find this game for like 55 bucks on Amazon. Really good deal on that, probably. I would highly recommend this one to anyone who's a fan of the series. Now, for anyone out there looking who's into survival horror games or something like along the Resident Evil type game, I would recommend The Evil Within 2. This is a game that came out a couple months back, and it's seen a price drop already. It went from $60 down to $45 for a brand new copy on Amazon, so that's a good deal. It's a good stocking stuffer there as well. This is actually a really good game. I didn't get around to playing the very first game. This is the sequel, obviously. I didn't play the first one, so when I jumped into this one, I didn't really know what to expect. I heard good things. I heard good reviews, so I went ahead and purchased it, and it is amazing. I really enjoyed it. It's got that incredibly creepy vibe to it. You got all kinds of crazy monsters, and you're running from them, and you can hear them, and it's actually pretty damn scary. Again, a game you may want to hold off on if your person you're buying for is under probably 10 years old. You don't want to buy them this game. You probably go something different, a little more kid friendly. But if they're into stuff like this, I highly recommend this game. They'll probably enjoy it and probably end up buying the next one if they ever make a new one too. Next up is a game called Raiden V, and this is a really cool vertical shooter. So Raiden has been around for what seems like forever. It's a very popular shooter series, and it has been for quite some time. This is the newest game on the PS4 for the series, and I really enjoyed it. If you're into shooters like this style, not JRPG, but like Japanese style shooters that are vertical, dialogue, and it's actually a pretty decently long story to this, believe it or not. So it's also got a lot of cool co-op modes and stuff like that in it. So it's a pretty cool game. And again, a very cheap game. It's only like 30 bucks, brand new. A great game to pick up on the cheap. So if you want to looking to buy a couple of games, a couple $30 games for someone, or just go maybe a gift for a stocking again. It's a great little game to pick up. I highly recommend it. Next up on the list, I have Ys 8, and wow, this game is this is the game that I feel like everyone should play. Again, this is a JRPG. If you're not into JRPGs, you probably won't like this game, but if you are into any kind of longer RPGs or JRPGs, this game is something you'll probably end up putting hundreds of hours into, because wow, it sucks you in. It's a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's got insanely cool not only do the graphics look great, but the battle system in this game is also really fun. I really enjoyed the battle system and the crafting and all that kind of stuff like that. Typical RPG stuff here, but this is probably one of my favorite games I've played this year. So that's really saying something if I say that to, about a game I don't really typically play all that much of. I don't play that much in RPGs, so for an RPG to be one of my favorite games this year, it's really saying something, at least to me. But this game is around $50, I believe, for a brand new copy. Maybe a little bit more if you want to get the, I believe it's like a deluxe version of it, you can get as well. Great game. Highly recommend this one to anyone who's into RPGs or maybe a slightly more adult person you're purchasing for. Next up on the list, though, is a game that actually came out last year. It was probably like everyone's game of the year last year, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn. Again, you can buy the base version of this game for pretty cheap now. I think like 30, 40 bucks. You can get the base version of this game, and that's awesome. The game, we won't be disappointed with that game if they don't have it, or if you're purchasing the very first PS4 or you're just getting into PS4. It's a great place to start, but they are also releasing in just a few days from me when I'm making this video what is the Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. That's including all the DLC all in one bundle for $50. That is a great deal. So if you have not gotten around to playing this game, or just for whatever reason living under the rock didn't get around to playing it, this is now the perfect time to pick up the Complete Edition with all the extra DLC and all the extra content, and pick it up for 50 bucks. And it's an amazing game. It just looks and plays beautiful. The story is out of this world. Hundreds of hours of gameplay and replayability in this one. It's just one of the best games on the PS4, period. And if you have not played it, I highly recommend it, especially with the DLC bundled in for a cheap price. Next up, though, is Shadow of War. Now, this is an action RPG. It's in the Lord of the Rings setting, so if you're into that, it's really cool. It's the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, another very, very, very popular RPG on the PS4. The price recently was dropped down to $45. It came out a couple months ago, so there's always been a price drop for it. That's always awesome. Save a few bucks here for Christmas shopping. I cannot say enough good things about this game. Graphically, it is top-notch, story-driven game here. Lots of decision-making going on. Lots of great combat going on. Again, RPGs are kind of hit or miss, and this one is definitely a hit for me. Highly recommend this one as well. And finally, a game that I just heard about today, that just got a trailer today. It is actually coming out December 6th, so 5 days after this. And I'm not sure if it's getting a physical release just yet. Hopefully it does. If not, you can buy it on the PSN network. And that is the Jak Daxter PS2 Collection. So these are 4 PS2 games that came out back in the day of Jak Daxter 1, 2, 3, and Jak X Racing. Some all-time classic platforming, and I believe Jak X is a racing game, obviously. But some all-time greats. Those are just, I can remember playing those on the PS2 back when I was a kid, and I cannot wait to jump into those on PS4 and get all the trophies and play the games remastered. I'm definitely going to be buying that when it comes out in a few days, and if anyone is a fan of the series or just a younger audience in general, kids will love this game, and it's a family-friendly game. So if it's, if one of these RPGs or, one of these shooters is a little bit too old of an audience for who you're buying for, then this is definitely a game you guys can consider picking up for a child or a younger audience. Jak Daxter is completely awesome, and cannot say good enough things about that series, and I'm super excited that they're bringing it back to the PS4. I'm playing that for probably dozens and dozens of hours next week when it comes out. But anyway, those are just my picks for some games to pick up on the PS4. As you guys can see, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games on the PS4 right now. It's a great time to be into the PS4 with this giant library of awesome games. So hopefully you guys can pick up some great games, not only for yourself or maybe for your loved ones, but let me know what you guys are doing for Christmas on PS4 down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what games you guys are playing or you are planning on picking up. All that kind of fun stuff love to hear it down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. You guys like and share the video. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, guys, take it easy and peace out. And Merry Swiftmas, guys. All right, take it easy. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the content on the channel and would like to help out, then check out my brand new Patreon page. Donors get access to early videos and special Patreon-only content as well. Click the link on the screen and check that out.